So when you're putting together a release, you need to consider how you're going to package it. And one of the methods is, of course, to do an original mix and then a whole collection of remixes, maybe by yourself or maybe other producers. Now, what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to demonstrate another approach, which is to have your original mix as it is and then create a bonus beats version and then also a reprise. So essentially these are like construction kit elements that DJs can use in the mix. So this is the original track. Some of you may have heard some of this already because I've featured it on a couple of videos that I've actually made private now. So I'm really gearing up towards getting this release sorted out, and I need to get the beat mix and also the reprise done. So let's focus firstly on the reprise mix. So step one is to save a new file. Keep your original where it is, save live set as, and basically I've already done this, so this is the reprise, so it's ready to go. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the beats. Now this is something where we don't really want to have any beats in there. Maybe we'll have something like a clap. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be quite brutal here. I'm going to delete some of these drum elements. Maybe percussion is quite good to have on this sort of thing. This clap and tom, I'm taking that away. So we've got congas, ride. Let me see about my 909 drum elements. This is a complete programming, of course, and what I might do here is to take just the clap out of that. Yeah, because my ride is separate. Let me just focus on a little musical section, maybe over here, and let me see where that clap is. Everything's really stripped down, as you can hear. Right, so the clap here, this is what's being triggered. Now what I'll do is I'm going to create a MIDI track. So this is going to go underneath that existing one. Let me come back up to that 909, find the clap, and what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to drag this up onto here. Now what this is going to do is it's going to take out that clap, all of the processing that was associated with it, and also the MIDI programming. So look, this is great. So you can see actually we've got the MIDI data here, and I think it's safe to say that I can delete the rest of that now. So the clap is going to be there to define the rhythm. When you're a DJ and you're trying to mix in musical elements, it can be quite hard, so the claps are quite important. So that's going to define some musical movement. And now let's have a listen from here. So we've got the ride and the clap. That's actually quite nice there with the congas. So, you know, what we're looking for is something that's really stripped down on the beat side. You know, we're going to really focus on the beats on the bonus beats mix. So this is literally for just that DJ tool, flipping the mood up in the middle of a set. So let's have a look. I wonder if actually we should. And that actually could be a good point. Imagine that is the cue point, the piano. So the DJ could trigger that on the CDJs on top of a beat, get it synced up, and then drop it in. And this feels nice, you know, and it's a construction kit vibe. You know, you can drop this over any other elements that are non-musical, so DJ can use it. And I might end up actually keeping most of the structure the same. See, that's nice when the bass comes in there. What we're looking for is a shorter duration for the complete track. So possibly something that's around 3.5 minutes in length. And there are going to be some arrangement changes. So this is actually flowing nicely. And if you're a true fan of the single, you know, you would probably want to listen to this as well, not just so much a DJ thing, but if you've got a real connection to the track, it's nice to hear it in a different presentation. So at the moment, everything that's gone on here I feeling would work really nicely as a reprise mix. And the ride's going to come in here. I can't remember what was new here. There's possibly nothing new. It's actually quite a nice shift. And if you imagine someone like a DJ putting an a cappella on top, or spoken word, all of those kind of possibilities are starting to come through now. And what I have here is strings and mallet. Now maybe what I'll do on the next one is to take the clap out and take the ride out. Looks musically like it's really stripping down there. That's quite nice. Let me take that conga out. I'm going to push 0 to mute it for the moment. Now I might, just for extra drama, bring the clap back, but also take the bass out. So let me see on there. It feels like it's a big change, but actually it's quite nice. It's making me think maybe I need to flip that with the section later, to be honest. Let me check out some other elements. Now maybe I just need to do a brutal chop and take it to there instead. So we'll experiment. What we'll do is we'll just take a look at that. So I'm going to go to edit, I'm going to go to delete time, which is basically going to crop that section out and leave us with the rest of it. Let's see. Take that loop off. Do you know what? That felt nice. But I'm wondering if I need to do a full chime to back up the rise from earlier. Let's have a look. Just got to try and picture yourself in a club. It's actually flowing quite nicely, and it's great to have a slightly different arrangement. Okay, so congas, clap coming back. This is good. Definitely feels like it's got a nice vibe. Just having a look over here where I started. I'm going to delete the elements before, just so that I know what's going down. So, like I said, remember, imagine beats on top that the DJ's got already. Now I'm not sure about the heavy stabs here, because as I said, it's nice to present things slightly differently. And that's nice. There we go. I think that's it. I think this is sorted. We'll take the bass out again. Consider there may be another tune coming in now. So DJ's been working on this as a kind of mood shifter. Take that ride out. Probably time for the bass to come back. And then maybe the ride at the end here. Okay, now I'm going to bring this chime fall down over here. So we probably need to start easing back now. Maybe take the conga out. Where's that pad? Just checking the pad's still going. Piano melody there as well. Okay, this is feeling good. So now we've got the more stabby keys coming in there. So maybe take the bass out. Do you know what? I need to keep that pad going. So maybe we end on the stabby key. Another effect 4. I think we've got that structure there for the reprise. So let me just take that big chunk out from the beginning. I'm going to come over here and go to edit, delete time. So you can see there are some keyboard shortcuts for that, but I don't know them off the top of my head. That's why I'm using the menu structure, and it's also good for you guys to see that too. So I think we're pretty much there on that. I'm just going to take some of these elements away, and we've got ourselves a nice little reprise there. So the basic thing about the reprise is you're trying to keep it nice and mellow, musical elements that a DJ can basically work with the bonus beats or another track, whatever. So part 2 of this video, we're going to shift over and we're going to look at trying to create the bonus beats version. So of course the first thing is to load up the finished club mix again and to basically come down to save, and I'm going to call this the bonus beats mix. So we're starting to build up these, and we can render these out of course whenever we got time. So bonus beats, and here is the opposite to the reprise. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take out the musical elements. So let me take out the bass line. So as I said, you know, this is designed to be used in partnership with the reprise or even the main mix as well. So it's giving everybody a lot of creative scope. So what I might do, in fact, is just do shift and then delete all of these together. Speed it up a bit, piano chord, let's take that out. So literally just the beats. I'm going to keep the vocals there because I think they're probably quite important. Let's see what's going on. What I really fancy doing on this actually is trying to make it a bit more percussive. Maybe I'm going to bring in another element because I've got this percussive kit here, and I'm feeling actually that some of these elements like this clap and tom loop that I had, that I've actually rearranged a little bit as well. I'm going to save that for later, and let's see how it feels for the moment. Now what I might do is I might treat the clap slightly differently as well. So this is a time to just do something a little bit different maybe. Let's have a look again. Yeah, you know what it is? I'm going to do that same thing as before, where I'm going to take the clap out. I'm going to set this up to a new MIDI track. And what I'm feeling is I want to get a real big sense of space on this clap and really kind of trip it out a bit. So I'm just dragging it up onto that track there. And so the clap data has been taken out of the original programming. And let me have a look again. It's got quite a metallic reverb on there coming from the MDEX, and that was a kind of vibe that I wanted on that, but I want it to be a little bit different now. So what I'm going to do is take a look at what I've got on my A and B return. So there's nothing on here. So on my A return I'm going to drop in, let's go here for the live effects. Gonna bring in the reverb. This is a technique I've used on a lot of tunes. I really like this. Just take the decay time out. I'm going to take the highs, the filter off the diffusion network. Also on the input processing as well. I want this to be really quite bright, and I'll play around with it afterwards. So dry wet mix, always 100% on a return track. And let me find that clap. Where is it? It's over here. So I'm going to feed into that. So I'm going to adjust the send level. Let's take a look over here. It's running all the way through. Right, you can get that sense of a really, really long reverb decay, and that's great. Possibly a little bit too long. I'm going to take the decay time down a bit, and I'm going to add my magic ingredient now, which is a phaser after. I'm going to adjust the LFO so we've got full movement. It's going quite fast at the moment, so we take the rate down. Now if you're on headphones you'll get a sense of real movement going there, but I want to exaggerate that, so I'm going to take the feedback up. Just waiting for it to fall down. So you've got that sense of that movement occurring. Let's play around the frequency a bit. There we go, so you've got that futuristic movement occurring. Maybe a bit more on the feedback. Just wait for it to go on its little journey. So don't always expect you're going to hear stuff straight away if you're on a slow rate. And the other thing I might do is synchronize that with tempo. So let me take it over 8 bars. So it's a bit more obvious now. And maybe increase the amount of poles. I think that's more like it. So we've got that nice kind of rich, futuristic moving texture. Maybe it's a little bit too splashy on the highs. Just going to reduce the diffusion network frequencies down. Let's see how that sounds in the mix now. So I've spent a bit of time on that. Let's have a look. Okay, for me it's too long on the decay. I'm going to reduce that. So decay is the length of the reverb. Maybe a bit more on there. Let's also open up the highs again. Going to compare. Okay, I think I'm happy with that now. So that's the beginning. All right, I'm going to let that run for a bit. So this is really going to be like a DJ tool that they can work with. So I'm going to let that run, and I'm going to take a look at the conga. Maybe on this track there's something else that I can bring in. Just going to take it down. Okay, I want to do something with the congas, right? I'm not sure playing something new in is going to be the thing. What we're looking to do is to do something to present this a little bit differently. So here we go. Now what if I put a delay on here? I'm going to do this onto return B. So I'm going to put this in here. Dry wet mix 100%. Going to take the congas and rotate some send level. Maybe not that grid. So it's got a real sense of that swing kind of coming through there. Let's open up the filter. Maybe a little bit more on the feedback. Now I'm wondering also about an effect on here. So maybe this time the flanger. So what we're doing is, once again, we're presenting the same sound a bit different. So it's almost like a remix. I'm going to increase the delay time here. It's got that more buzzy electronic kind of flavor coming through if we do that. If we take it shorter, got this kind of ringing sort of, you can hear that pitch going up and down. But as you increase this, it's got this kind of comb filtery, you can really hear those little delays coming in, which is quite nice actually. Now I might reduce the amount of the effect because it may be a little bit too obvious. So it's working nicely. I'm going to see how that feels on the beats. So you see, it's what people know already, but it's got a different vibe to it. So this is the whole thing. Let me see how it comes in with that other percussive sound. Don't think it's time for that vocal yet, by the way. That's going to come in later. Let me just shut these up for the moment. And you know, doing an arrangement for bonus beats is different to an arrangement for a complete tune. It's like a different agenda. Okay, let me come back. Right, I need to get some bearings on this and play it from the beginning. And I've got a feeling that the arrangement on this I'll have to sit with for a little while. It's not something that's I'm gonna be able to cover on this video. I think, well, let me just see how it goes. So I'm gonna listen now. See, we can get away with a section repeating like that over 16 bars because of the fact that the phasing is moving that clap, the reverb. Okay, I want to adjust the EQ on here. So on the return, I'm going to use the EQ 8 to basically roll off some lows on the actual effect. So this is after these two effects here, and rolling off the low frequencies and some of the low mids. Because I've got the echoes occurring there, it's starting to feel a little bit too cluttered compared to the original. So I like this. This is good. Can maybe increase the feedback. Okay, this is flowing good at the moment. Maybe the ride should come in. Actually, this is good, but yeah, the ride's got to come in. That's good. The vocals work in there. So this may be something in the region of 4 minutes, the beats. And also the vocal there, the sequence from the original suits this really well. Because it's increased in frequency, the amount of times it's being triggered. And also, on the original tune, I had a varying length decay on the kick. So we got to the point where the decay is short there. I'm going to show you on the automation. So you can see the decay there. So we've got that flavour of going from a short punchy kick to a fatter, longer kick. So actually, I'm going to reactivate the vocals here. So once again, you know, this is a DJ tool designed to work with the other elements on the Reprise. Now the danger, if you're layering the two together, is on the Reprise there was a vocal as well. So if you're layering the two together, then they're slightly out in the mix, then you're going to get some phasing going on. If they're both together, the vocals are going to seem twice as loud, really, and that's what's going to happen. So it's worth considering. So maybe I shouldn't put any of those vocals in, you know, given that. And I'm going to make a decision here based on that. I'm going to take the vocals out, even though they're quite an important hook. So you're going to be using those vocals on the Reprise mix. So that's actually quite an important thing to consider. If you're making the bonus beats, don't have elements that you're also going to have on the other version of the Reprise. But now I'm also thinking there's a little bit of a contradiction in that the clap is here, but I don't want to take the clap out of the beats. It's not going to sound right. And also there was a justified reason for including the clap on the Reprise. So that's just going to have to seem a little bit louder in the mix. I'm sure it's going to be fine. Okay, so look, the video is definitely going on for quite a while here, and all I would end up doing really is just stripping the beats down now and having the DJ to have a section that he can play at some point in the mix, you know. So real creative DJs will use things like this as tools to change the vibe, just to kind of loop stuff up, maybe on the CDJs as well, you know, because you can do that, add Tractor and all the other tools. So really what it is the main aim of the bonus beats is to have the beats, to have them so that they can be layered over something else in the mix, but also to present things maybe slightly differently. So that's why I use the effects in a different way. So have a think about it. You know, for you guys, if you want to put together a release, you know, you don't have to go this route. This is a real kind of old school traditional route, which I think still has a place, and particularly now with all of the digital DJing options. So see what happens. Give yourself some time and take your elements and do the kind of stuff that I've done here. See how it feels and experiment. You know, you might end up with a really nice package to put out on a label. That's the original mix, the bonus beats, and then also the Reprise. So it's a real nice package to put out as a release.